in the African culture, gossip is relegated to the illiterate women who are idle and have nothing to do. Those are people who society feels, because of their idle mind, they can speak things that are of no value. And therefore, when you gossip in Africa, people say you're behaving like a woman in the village, because these women who are idle, they walk long distances to fetch for water, and by the time they're at the river, they're so tired, so they sit on their containers, the water containers, and begin relating stories about the village and their families and all that. They do this because they are preparing themselves to carry the water on their heads and walk for long distances back home. And while they sit there, and because they don't have any form of entertainment and stuff, there will be a group of women. Then they will sit there idle, and therefore they will then gossip. And you will hear them laughing so loudly, ooh, ooh, as they discuss details that are not even important. And the African culture looks down on that. That is why when you meet the elites, women who are educated in Africa, they will not want gossiping, because they want to be different from those women in villages who walk to the river and they're idle, and they have to prepare themselves psychologically to carry the water back home. So they talk. It's an idle talk. And a lot of the women that are elites that I know don't really like gossiping. Of course, there is that human inclination to want to get information about your favorite television anchor or some celebrity and all that. But it's not an obsession that they really pursue. And they would want to do that, and they do it very, very secretly, so that nobody can know that they are actually trying to gather details about others. And I think that is the reason why on my videos you will not hear them writing stuff about me. And I don't know why my haters have never asked themselves why it is that Kenyans and a lot of people in Africa and Kenyans are on YouTube, but why have they never asked themselves why Kenyans don't bash me on my videos? Why Kenyan women who know English, in fact better English than some of those haters, because we have some brilliant women who are paid so well. There is no gender disparity when it comes to salaries and payment in Africa. Men and women are paid equally. So we have some influential and wealthy women in Africa, empowered and authoritative, and running companies and businesses and running churches and stuff. And those women are here. But you will never see them writing information that is derogatory. You will not see them wanting to engage in idle talk on the internet through, writing, making inquiries and all that. And I've received emails from some of those ladies. They ask me specific questions, and I answer them. There's one lady called Rachel. She's a Kenyan and she's in South Africa. There is another lady called Elizabeth. She's in Zimbabwe. And we have doctors like Betty Machoni. We have Rachel Wekesa. These are my supporters who are African ladies, women of substance who live in Africa. Some are families, others are single women. But the outstanding factor about these women is that they get information that is relevant, and whenever they ask for information, it is because they want to help. They want to get involved in a given project. But you expect the first world to be different. We expect these women in the first world to be examples to the third world women in speech, in demeanor, in taking care of family, in being motherly, and all that. We expect them to do that. But unfortunately, we have some women from the first world who are a big disappointment, who are actually worse than the village women, idle village women in the third world. I mean, you listen to you read their comments, and you wonder what the hell they're doing. You listen to their conversations and you start asking yourself, how old could this woman be? The worst of them all, when I mentioned the name, her name is Anna. And my mother is 75 years old. And Anna is 75. But you will listen to her talk, referring to somebody who is the age of her son. And you will wonder, is this Anna 75? Can she respect herself? Sometimes I read her things and I just quake, because I know no woman in Africa, her age or even younger, would ever do that. It's beyond witchcraft. And she is the very woman who paid $20,000 to a con man